La da 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 da.
Spinach gonna jump on you, but then they go high. He's gonna kiss his mommy too, and then he get high. Are you coming? Are you coming, boy?
Da 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 la da da.
Come
la
on,
da
then.
da da la da da da. Are you gonna come over?
Come on, my love. Yeah, good boy. Here we are.
Hello.
Hi. It's back.
It's back, and we're back.
And we're back after a long old week away.
A week away, yeah.
It did actually feel long.
It did. We were like, oh God, we haven't put makeup on in ages.
I can't remember how to do it.
Yeah, I'm really relieved. I'm sorry, I've just touched my hair slightly because I got nervous because I just saw an influencer on Instagram talking about like how she can't cope sensorily with her hair being down anymore because you know how everyone does a slick back bun now.
Yeah.
And I've only had long hair while doing that, and like that's all. I just always put it back.
What, because she's been doing so many slick back buns?
She's been doing so many slick back buns, and she's like, I don't know how to wear my hair down anymore, girlies. Like, but I'm just really worried for all of our hairlines. And now I'm like, no, because I've been worried about my hairline because it used to be really like straight, but now I have loads of little baby hairs because I'm always slicking my hair back.
I don't think you do it as viciously as some people. You do it quite nicely with product, and some people really go every day.
Okay, yeah, I don't do it every day. I try
and you
let my
like to
hair
have
breathe.
a little your Tarzan moments, free and curly.
Yeah, that's true. Just in the comfort of my own home. Thank you very much.
There's a lot of lesbian hairstyles to look at on the Queer Ultimatum.
So many to look at.
I love it. I love looking at the lesbian hairstyles. I love looking at the lesbian outfits.
Why can't they make a queer TV show that makes sense? Like,
but it's not the queer element that has
no, obviously it's not the queer element that's the problem.
Make sense as a straight
it's the structure.
show.
They can never. Oh. Okay, fine.
Yeah,
it didn't make sense as a straight show. So they always did this thing where they stand up at the dining table and say, "I choose this person."
Yeah.
That
aspect is so badly designed. Like,
really?
Either they should make everyone like write their answer down like in the Traitors and like reveal it.
That would be much better.
Yeah, but then you'd have to do this funny working out. Oh, you've got okay, she said you and you said her. You'd have to work it all out. But like it's just too obvious to be like, and now let's randomly talk to two people who we already know are definitely going to say the same girl.
And does that not mean that anyone that's like attracted to AJ, the two girls that are attracted to AJ, just going to both end up with each other?
Before we carry on, we should say we're going to talk about episodes 1 and 2. We don't know anyone who's matched up yet.
Yeah, no, we don't know.
Because we stopped at the end of episode 2.
We thought we'll actually have a bit of suspense happening.
So if you don't want to hear spoilers for those, stop now.
But we haven't got much to spoil, to be fair.
No.
Yeah.
What did you say about AJ's matches? If anyone else who wants to be with AJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if there was like a random, if Bridget was going to suddenly say AJ.
If Bridget says AJ and the other two say AJ, and then
AJ's already picked
one of them, then will they just by default end up with each other?
It just doesn't make sense.
No.
And I always feel really worried and awkward about the ones that are going to have to be like, hey, yeah, I really wanted it to be you. And like they're obviously just the leftovers, like probably Bridget and the one who's reminding me of Caitlin Dever in Last of Us, the girlfriend of the nightmare one. Marita's Ashley is her name.
Oh, she
just
does look like Caitlin Dever in The Last of Us. Yeah.
Her and Bridget are just going to end up together. She's a bit
trash, isn't she? Yeah, because Bridget was like desperately like, okay, we better talk to some people.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, okay. To the start.
So we both averted our eyes at the start because there was about a 5-minute section of like preview spoilers.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm going to remember who said these things.
It's quite funny though because I can't remember a single thing, and I did watch a little bit more than you, perhaps.
That is true. I did watch a tiny bit,
but it is annoying. I don't want to know.
No, and it was quite fun hearing it but not seeing it.
Yeah,
that was quite exciting.
Yeah,
because now we know there's definitely going to be some people that like fall in love, and some
I can tell already.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so messy.
But to start off with, it doesn't seem as chaotic as last season. I feel like they're a bit younger, maybe. But maybe we're just a bit older.
They're all our age, aren't they? Or a little bit younger than us, some of them. I don't know.
bit
It's
younger.
like between 25 and 30, I think.
Yeah.
Um,
But I feel like it's going to develop into some true
I don't
chaos.
really remember. I feel like there's a really good mixture of lesbians.
In this one.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
don't-
little bit less.
I can't really remember. All I can remember is like, I can only remember a few of them from last year.
Yeah. Last year felt, well, I was going to say it felt a little bit like binary roles in some couples of like femme and masc, although that wasn't the case in all of the couples, but
Yeah, but more prevalent.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel so much like that this season, although there is the kind of like butchy little gang
Yeah.
who almost turned, well, two of them turned on the other one.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
We'll get to that.
We've got some interesting backstories, like Pilar, who had hid her relationship for 8 years,
Yeah.
and
Megan is the same.
Megan, similar.
So that is interesting as a concept on this show. And it's nice to see it from two different people from different backgrounds who are going through the same thing, because that does make it really complicated. But for someone like Pilar, I'm kind of like, oh, but do you actually like Hayley enough to marry her, or are you?
Yeah, I
like,
think
it
that
kind
might
of-
be at play
Which is
as
kind
well.
of really sad, because I was like, at first I was like, I don't really know if Pilar and her are actually like queer, or if they had just so happened to have fallen in love with each other.
Yeah.
Well, obviously that's queer, but do you know what I mean? I don't know if they'd be in other queer relationships outside of that. But now, having seen Pilar gravitate towards like the queerest looking couple,
Yeah.
Kyle and Bridget, I'm like, oh, you gay.
Yeah, definitely. We're not seeing a lot of Pilar's partner,
Hayley, I think her name is.
Hayley.
Yeah, we saw her with Megan
Yeah.
in the second episode,
they're
which I'm
probably-
like, that makes sense, because you obviously actually didn't even think about how she's just ended up going for basically her partner already.
Who? Why?
Hayley has, because Pilar is in the same situation where she can't come back to her family.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't do it again.
So true. Yeah. I mean, they're another just like default one who both obviously feel a little bit uncomfortable in the situation.
Even though Hayley's the one that issued the ultimatum.
Yeah. But sometimes that happens, and then the ultimatum receiver, because they're trying to like get something from their partner, but then obviously their partner's just going to go off and have fun.
Oh God.
Pilar is an interesting one because she's got this whole like family trauma and doesn't want to get married because she doesn't want to draw more attention to something that isn't well received in her family, blah blah blah. But then she also has this narrative of like, oh, I'm so spontaneous and like free spirited, and that's what her and Bridget are connecting over. And it's just interesting because that seems kind of at odds with the family thing, although she can't choose her family. So I don't know, the family stuff just feels very like repressed, whereas her natural personality obviously seems much more.
So it doesn't add up with like her sexuality isn't adding up to her, like her ability to express her sexuality isn't adding up to the same way as the rest of her personality.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So she's in a love triangle with the couple Kyle and Bridget.
Yeah.
What do you think should happen? And
Oh, I think she should go with someone different to herself.
yeah. So Kyle.
Yeah, because going with Bridget just feels like a kind of egotistical experiment or something, which is like fine, but I'm like, is that what you're there for though? I don't actually know what any of them are there for. I'm very confused by this whole thing.
Why would
Because they
you
were
go
just
on
like,
it?
I'm going to commit to marrying you, and I'm like, what? But you're not going to commit to marrying your actual partner? None of it makes sense to me. It's so
I know.
toxic.
The way some of them are already like, I can picture marrying you, and it's like, what the fuck?
Why are you saying that?
Yeah, I find that Pilar and Bridget thing interesting because people so often go for like their opposites, and I think that probably needs to happen, and there's a reason why that happens.
Yeah.
But then people can fall like too much into their like opposite roles. So I can see, I would be interested to see two people who are similar who like had it, you know, the things they complain about. It's like, well, you've got it all now because you've got someone just like you. So what are you going to do with it? But
Yeah.
I think Pilar fancies Bridget, but I don't think Bridget fancies Pilar.
Yeah, and I guess like it is a temporary marriage. Well, it should be for the purposes of this show.
Yeah.
So maybe that could be a good opportunity to explore that, get it out of your system, and then go back to the person who was opposite you in the first place.
Yeah, if we're like wanting these original relationships to work, then that would probably be a good thing to do for both of them. But for the sake of drama, I'd rather see Pilar go with Kyle, because I think they could have a bit of a dodgy affair.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, it was interesting because I don't really understand what's stopping Bridget from getting married. I can't work it out because
she seems quite up for it with everyone else.
Yeah, and also she said if it were just up to my heart, I'd do it. And I'm like, what else is it up to?
Yeah, is it her idea? Like, is it an ideological thing?
Which I'm like, it could be, but I'm like, if it does mean so much to your partner, then if it's ideological, then it doesn't. I just think it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I do find it funny. Like, if your partner, if you love your partner and they really care about something, and you're kind of indifferent about it, then you should probably do the thing. Is that crazy?
Well, no, I don't think that's crazy, but I don't think it must be stronger than indifference.
Yeah,
but I agree.
But she hasn't quite articulated what that is.
I would like a bit more background from them all on
I want a bit more
what
backstory.
it is that marriage issue is triggering.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
because we got a bit from Mel about how she has medical issues. She was like, I'm very stressed out by in sickness and in health. I nearly died when I was born. I was like, okay. I still don't really understand why that's a problem. Is it the feeling of being a burden, I guess?
I think so. And she was saying like, oh, you know, what if I left her sooner? Like saying, what if I died sooner?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then
you're dead.
You're dead, so she's fine.
Wrote another one.
I mean, she's not fine. She'd be really sad.
You're dead, she's fine.
But like, she's not.
That's very
she
me.
doesn't
That's a
have
very me thing to say. I'm glad you've said it, because usually you're like,
she was almost acting as if like Marie would then have to be staying married to her, like staying a widow her whole life.
Maybe that's what she expects.
I don't know. Yeah, Mel is a funny one. The food truck made me laugh.
The whole food truck is very stressful.
Them sharing an anniversary with the food truck.
Yeah, I was like, what? Sometimes the food truck overshadows our anniversary.
I feel like they bought their food truck together like 2 months into their relationship. Probably.
Yeah. Well,
although
they opened it a year into
into,
their relationship.
sorry.
I guess it could have been
the day of.
Yeah, they
More
got
likely.
together and opened the food truck on the same day. Yeah, I believe that. Just while we're on Mel,
Yeah,
who if we just have to talk about what we find attractive, I don't find Mel very attractive.
you're not into Mel.
I think she seems a bit slimy.
I think
But
a little bit in her flirting tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm being dicophobic. Butchophobic.
I don't think so. I think she feels a bit sad to me. So when I heard
She does have a sadness
about her chronic illness, which I don't know what illness it is, but her having a chronic illness,
Yeah.
it made a bit more sense of that sadness.
She does have a sadness about her, and she's not the one who issued the ultimatum, is she? So
Yeah, but I know what you mean. It's like she seemed really shy, and then all of a sudden kind of does like a little bit of a line like, oh, you're being confident for me? And it's like, where did this come from?
Put it away.
Yeah. AJ and Megan
Yeah.
have a little bitch about Mel.
Yeah.
I'm learning these names.
Which is funny because especially AJ, is acting in the same
yeah,
way.
I feel like even though Mel is a
Pushing
bit slimy,
boundaries.
the grounds that AJ, well, it was more Megan that was complaining about it, wasn't it?
And I
but
think,
like for AJ to be like, yeah, is a bit fucking fresh because she's doing it much worse. A bit rich, that's it.
She is doing it much worse, and it's funny because you can look at Mel and say, oh, you're touching these girls, putting your arm around these girls because it's a physical thing, and what AJ's doing is a lot more under wraps until Bridget has called her out on it. I don't really understand what AJ's game is. Like, she's just getting everyone to fancy her so that she can hurt them all. What's that about? Or just feel really good about herself?
I think it's an egotistical thing. I think she's just a player.
And I remember at the start we were talking about AJ's reasons for not getting married.
Yes.
And I was being really sympathetic to her because I was feeling like, oh, I understand why you'd want to be the person that provides and be on the same level. Or not even just the person that provides, but brings the same to the table.
Good enough, live up to your partner's standards.
And I was like, you could see them kind of playing into gender roles a bit more, and how AJ seems to lean into a masculine sort of role and perhaps wanted to be the provider in that sense. And I'm like, okay, and we've created a full circle here where you're being so masculine that you're
being
acting
a dickhead,
like a misogynistic
man. Because when she said her reasons at the start, I said that's what men always say.
You did say that,
in these reality shows in particular. Always
you've got a lot of experience of watching these reality shows.
All these weird shit American reality shows. They're always like, oh no, I need to be earning a certain amount before I can commit to marriage, and they always use this, like they say it on Love is Blind, on The Ultimatum, the straight version, fucking Vanderpump Rules, my current obsession. And it's always to cover up like them not wanting to commit or something. They always say like, oh, I need to be earning enough. So I was like, interesting that she's used that reasoning. And then
because I'm like, that can only happen over time, right? So it buys them more time.
Yeah, it's like a kind of noble way of saying that you just don't want to commit. AJ straight away with Marita started doing, because she was talking about her relationship.
Oh my God, Marita, I forgot about her.
AJ was talking about her relationship with Brittany and how at the start she needed loads of help, and AJ provided helped her succeed.
I missed that bit.
Then all of a sudden she didn't have anywhere to live or something, and then she helped her, and then all of a sudden she was hitting milestones and AJ wasn't hitting those milestones, and she feels shit because she obviously prefers to be the support provider. And then straight away with Marita, when Marita was talking about her music career,
oh my God,
she was like, okay, how do we get your music back on, how do we suddenly becoming her manager, and really she obviously really gets off on that,
suddenly becoming Fred Casely from Chicago, who's the furniture salesman who says he's going to help Roxy get a job in the club.
Exactly.
And then watch your back, AJ, because Marita's going to get ya.
It's doomed, because if you succeed at the thing you're wanting to do, then you are suddenly in the position you don't want to be, where they're more successful than you and you haven't used that energy on yourself. So I feel like that must be one of the reasons why AJ was most attracted to Marita, because we found Marita a little bit scary.
And also, I guess, the youngest with the...
she was responding the most giggly, and just I think it was all about her response. Why does she keep
choosing people that have dreams so that she can help them with? It's just going to be a cycle forever.
Exactly. One bit we didn't understand when AJ said, and I'm a hoochie daddy without the shorts. What does that mean?
I'm a hoochie daddy without the shorts.
I'm a hoochie daddy without the shorts. If anyone knows what a hoochie daddy is, please tell us.
What's a hoochie daddy without the shorts?
And why do they need shorts?
What kind of shorts do they have? And how can you be one without the shorts? The shorts must be really big.
Hoochie
daddy without the shorts. I couldn't cope with AJ's pickup lines. I think if I was on a date with AJ, I'd get the ick immediately.
Do you think you're
a little bit about me? I'm a military brat.
Oh. A little bit about me.
No one said a little bit about me. You can't say a little bit about me.
Oh my God.
Hey. Little bit about me. I'm a military brat. Girl, I don't like it. I didn't like it.
AJ said to Marita, "You're going to show me all about life, and I'm going to show you all about love."
Hey, why?
Where did these come from?
I'm also like, you're not talking to a straight girl. You're talking to a gay girl.
Yeah.
So what kind of lure are you talking about?
Yeah.
She's in love. Because it would make sense if you were like, I'm going to make love. I'm like, she's gay already.
She's really putting the cat amongst the pigeons, because everyone's going, oh, getting all nervous and hot under the collar, and not, as Bridget said, not like wasting their time and not looking at other connections, because they just think, oh my God, there's so much chemistry here and it's only me.
And something else that's really irking me about Marita and AJ is that they keep talking about the romantic things that they've done individually and then assuming that means that they're romantic people. I'm like, girl, you could say anything.
Marita's...
and make up anything. Like Marita, that doesn't make you a romantic person. You have to prove it with actual.
Then I did this and I bought this thing. Marita wrote a 98-page book about their relationship.
Yeah.
That's
the kind
so
of romantic
boring.
thing I want to do.
98.
This dog's being a bit needy.
He's very needy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just moving around. Why did she remember that it was 98 pages long? Why not make it 100?
And also, like, why would you? And also, I will say as well, she said it had illustrations, so it was 98 pages with
2 pages
handwritten
then.
with illustrations. I'm like, also, why did you do that? And if you actually mean to do something romantic, you don't take note of what it is and then say, I expect the same back. You do it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
You don't do it because you want to have the same thing done.
And poor old Ashley, who's with Marita.
I know.
And she was kind of like, well, I get wandering eyes because I'm not going to just stay around if I'm feeling empty inside.
Why did Ashley put her on this experiment?
What a fool. But I feel like Marita and AJ are like maybe both narcissists, but different flavors. Because Marita's is all about, I need to hear people talking about me, and AJ's is all about, I need
people to want me,
people to respond to me in a certain way.
Let them at it. Go for it, girls, because that sounds meshy. So something else about AJ. I've got most of my notes are about AJ, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the conversation she had with Bridget, saying like, oh, you know, when you meet, do you talk to your parents about sex? You know, when my mom will meet you and she'll say, so when you go down on my daughter, do you make her come?
I think she said, when you eat my daughter's pussy. That is not.
That's unacceptable.
That is not okay.
So has she got a military dad or a military mum who talk about sex like that?
If she thinks that's cool, she needs
to. Not
that's
cool.
Not good.
I'm like, you could talk about sex
education, but
if you could talk about sex, but
she used that as a chat up line. That's why Bridget said she was feeling uncomfortable. I've just realised.
Yeah, because Bridget was like, you kind of.
Because that would have made me want to go like this, but then I would have felt like a prude because I'm screaming at her talking about sex. But like, you should be allowed to be like, what did you just say?
So what, do you want like your partner to think, I hope I'm doing a good job for AJ's mum?
That was disturbing.
It was disturbing.
That was weird.
I already thought, I can't even think about it too much because it was too stressful.
I didn't even write it down because I tried to forget it straight away.
Sorry. I already thought that when that whole conversation started and AJ was doing that thing of like, smells really important to me. If you said to me, hey babe, you smell really good, that's a turn on. I was like, why are you talking like that?
Yeah, why are you like training her?
Yeah, why are you training her? That's such a good point on what to do. And then suddenly, how do you sleep? Oh, would you wear clothes when you go to sleep? And then suddenly Bridget's
so
like,
creepy,
how many times do you
it?
want to have sex a week? And then she was like, every day. And then she was like, oh, Bridget, you want to have sex every day? I was like, okay, I don't like this conversation.
But they haven't actually said anything about themselves to each other. So Bridget kind of felt like she was suddenly in this slightly exciting forced intimacy.
Yes.
Without it having been earned or something.
Yeah.
And then Bridget calls her out.
Yeah.
And she just gets away with it. Even
gets away with it immediately.
Own girlfriend sticks up for her.
It's just like, I'm not surprised that you got brought in by her child. Yeah, but also you can imagine why, because she's the one that wants to actually marry her.
Yeah, but I would have thought she would have been fuming hearing how many girls she's chatted up. But she was just like,
seem annoyed.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's like a pride thing in the way that she's like achieved all of her goals, and one of those goals is having AJ as her girlfriend.
Maybe AJ wants her to be jealous. Maybe that's part of it.
Jesus, it's a mess, isn't it?
But then everyone is so desperate to be picked by her that they're just like, oh, don't listen to what Bridget said. Yes, maybe you're going to pick me. Like, just waiting. It was really weird. And then Bridget kind of came off as like the Aggie one.
Yes.
And it was hard because AJ was quite good at arguing back, which makes me think she might be manipulative, because she was saying like, well, we're here to make connections, and like obviously I'm going to say a similar thing because we're doing the same dates with multiple people. And it's kind of like, oh yeah, but like Bridget was correct in being you're playing all of us.
Yeah.
But
and then
it just seemed like she was bitter.
They all just were like, it's okay, I pick you. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see what Bridget's
and
going to
just
choose.
look at the type of people that she zeroed in on. Like, she didn't do it to Kyle. Like, she wouldn't have tried to do it to Kyle. Obviously, like, she has a type who's a bit more femme, but like Bridget isn't that femme looking. It's like an energy that she could make nervous, who she decided to focus all of her energy on, her attention on.
So Marie is the other one.
Marie,
Did she?
Marita and Bridget.
Who is Marie with?
Marie is with
Mel?
the sad one.
Okay, so I was just going to
Food
say,
truck.
like, I was trying to work out if there was a pattern with who issued the ultimatum, but Marie issued the ultimatum to Mel, so she's the only odd one out there. But there was something that I don't know if you picked up on that AJ said when Marie and AJ were having a conversation, and she said, physical stuff aside, I think there's a lot you could bring me. She said physicality aside, physical stuff, you're putting all physical stuff aside. I'm like, are you saying you're not attracted to her in a really rude way?
Oh, I think she would have meant, like, obviously there's physical stuff, but what else?
Oh,
Like,
I thought you were
physical stuff
saying
aside.
let's put the physical stuff aside because this isn't a match.
No, I don't think so. But because I
phew.
was excited when I first saw her talking to her, I was like, yeah, I would like her to go for like one of the bigger girls. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Before I started thinking she was a bit of a dick. But then when she was like talking about what everyone was wearing at the cocktail party and mentioned all the people who look good, and she just didn't mention Marie. She was like, Bridget looks amazing. Pilar looks gorgeous. Someone else, Marita looks stunning, and didn't mention Marie. I was like, oh, you've
Why
been
not?
chatting her up every day.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
And then, so going on to Mel again,
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about Brittany, who is AJ's ex, and Mel. Brittany doesn't look totally comfortable with Mel.
No.
She kind of looks like she's a bit stiff and like kind of on the side looking at her, like not really sure if she's comfortable with the situation. What do you think?
I think the same. I feel like they're forcing it. And I think Mel's ex, Dayna? What's her name?
Well, you're saying this. I assumed that Dayna must be Mel's ex. It's not. Dayna is another person's ex.
Dana's Megan's ex.
Yeah. Wait. I think so.
Dana's Megan's
and
ex.
Dana's coming up to Mel and saying, why are you ignoring me?
Yes, that's why I got confused.
It was confusing because she was acting like they were together.
That whole situation
I'm
was
getting
crazy.
She was saying, I'm getting trust issues.
Yeah.
You're playing games. I was like, what?
Yeah, but that was just after.
And you haven't looked at me.
She'd gone up to Megan, who had her little. I felt really sorry for Megan throughout these episodes.
Yeah, me too.
She wanted to leave. She looked socially anxious. She tried to ask her to leave.
Yeah.
Dayna, I don't know if she is called Dayna, but anyway.
She is.
Oh, she is. Oh, good. Persuaded her to stay, but then kept coming up and like hugging her and saying, I love you. So not only did Dayna make
Dayna.
Dayna and Megan. Not only did Dayna make Dayna. What is it?
Dayna. Stop saying Dayna. Gaydar.
Not only did Dayna make Megan stay,
Yeah.
but then she like gatekeeps her and
keeps
kind of
tabs on her
looks
around
at
the
her.
room. Yeah.
Then goes up to fucking Mel and says, I'm not impressed. You're making me feel insecure, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, that is
And saying
really
it
weird.
was so confusing that they're not even the ones that are together.
Yeah.
That was the most confusing
They haven't
thing.
made any promises to each other.
No. And also, I don't even remember seeing Dayna and Mel.
They had like a couple of dates.
I don't even
and then
remember
say you
their
haven't
dates.
even come up to me yet. I expect more effort from you. It's like, oh my God. If you have any
run,
sense,
run from that situation.
Absolutely
And that's why I
run.
could kind of see that Megan has ended up in this situation with Dayna because it's like she's a bit intense.
Yeah. Mel and Dayna were the ones that Mel asked her about her nails. She was like, well, it looks like from your nails, your bottom.
And she was like, I'm verse or whatever.
Yeah.
Why did she say she had the nails?
It was weird. She was like, she kind of like looked like it hadn't really occurred to her, which was weird. She was like, well, I didn't used to have them.
Surely that's the first thing that should occur to you if you're a lesbian getting your nails done. It's the first thing that would come to my mind.
Yeah.
Pussy.
She said something like, God, who the hell is her actual partner?
Dayna's.
Yeah.
Megan.
Megan made her get them or something.
Oh.
I don't know. Something about
know.
Meghan either wanting her to get them or not. I don't know. But the combination of that weird conversation and then her acting like she's married to Mel was giving me bad vibes. Someone said, maybe it was AJ that said like, oh, Dayna's a bad news. I was like, you've met another person called Dayna? That's it for the whole series now.
Yeah, Dayna. And Meghan. What the hell? Meghan. I just want to give a shout out to the host, whoever the hell that woman is. I'm sorry. I hate to sound ridiculous. I don't know who this woman is. She could be passing me in the street and I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this woman. Who said, I'm an old woman in a straight marriage and I believe in love in all its forms.
Who the fuck? Okay.
When people say I believe in love in all its forms, it always makes me think of bestiality. Every time I'm like, just it's not. You make it sound more weird.
It makes it sound homophobic to me.
It sounds homophobic.
I'm like, oh, well done for accepting us.
You believe in love in all its forms. Thank you. In all its weird forms.
I think
you guys are weird.
Gave some interview on the red carpet of saying, yeah, I kissed a girl once, and then that's how she got the job. But what we do need to be grateful for is that we don't have what's their names, the same couple that present Love is Blind. You do the straight version of this.
Why?
Because we can't be doing Nick and Vanessa begetting. I feel like they're
but
not.
Why would they even pick someone else if she's not even gay?
That is the weird thing. They chose to change.
What? Get Jojo Siwa to host. Oh wait.
Don't start.
Get Fletcher to host. Oh wait.
Get Billie Eilish to host.
Oh wait.
But they obviously. I'm like, I was thinking like, oh, so there's no lesbian couples that they could who can present, and then I was like, why didn't they get Mel and Sue? But they should have.
Imagine Mel and Sue.
I would love that so much.
It was like, oh, Mel and Sue.
Mel and Sue. Poor old straight Mel.
Oh my god. I love Mel and Sue.
I love Mel and Sue. How good. They would just be laughing at everything.
I love Mel and Sue. When they were on Radio 2 the other day and we heard it in the car for about 10 minutes, I was like, this is pure joy.
I love them
so much. They need more. They need to be on the telly more because they bring goodness.
Bake Off is dead to me since Mel and Sue have gone.
Yeah, Alison Hammond.
Love her, but it's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
I want Mel and Sue.
Even Meza Beza.
Mel and Sue was so funny.
Mel and Sue were so good. Sue had ayahuasca blown up her asshole by a shaman in a hot tub.
Was it ayahuasca that was up her ass?
Something.
Yeah, something.
Or
mad.
maybe she did ayahuasca because I don't think you can blow ayahuasca.
I think she had. Sorry that I
did
corrected
ayahuasca
you.
blue cocaine
up her asshole.
Blue cocaine.
Blue cocaine. God, I have such a crush on Sue.
You'd quite like to be that shaman, wouldn't you? Or that cocaine. No, that's too much. You don't like her that much.
I don't like her that much. I don't
want to go wee at her bumhole.
Sounds quite fun actually. When you say wee like that.
So there you go. Off you go.
No, I don't want to go up her bumhole. Sorry. I'm not that interested.
But honestly, do they not have... They've only got sports people in America and they'd be really boring. Like who are famous lesbian.
All the ones
but
that
this
host.
woman is so boring. And
they should have got G-Flip and Chriselle to host.
Oh, that would
have been the best idea.
That would have been perfect.
G-Flip and Chriselle.
G-Flip wouldn't have been able to get through those fucking heinous table ceremonies with her ADHD though.
She could do the drumming at the same time.
True.
She could do percussion for the show. Percussion.
And Chriselle will know how to hook them up with all the horrible backing songs.
To be honest, even if Chriselle... I think Chriselle would be a great host.
She'd be so much better. I don't understand who this person is. And only in America do those like ginger women who have little doll faces exist. We don't have those in England.
That's so funny.
Do you know what I mean? Like Amy Adams, like that type of redhead.
Oh my
we
God.
don't have them.
We don't have them. You know, she's entirely dyed red though. That woman, is she ginger inside?
I think she might be ginger inside, but it must be like.
We don't have those.
We don't have them. It must be
like
right, some kind of like. I don't know. It's some immigrants that came to America from like Scandinavia or something. It's just
like Pippi Longstocking and never let it go.
It's just, you just don't see those little girly button nose, red and white. It's weird.
Isla Fisher is another one, but she's
Isla
Australian.
Fisher,
but
she looks exactly the same.
You know, that person.
It's weird, and I don't need
That
to be
is
reminded.
so funny. Amy
of what
Adams, Isla Fisher, and who's the other one?
This person.
No, there's one more that looks like Amy Adams.
There are a few.
And the only one that we had was Karen Gillan.
She does look like that, but she also looks Celtic, very Celtic.
But she's now lives in.
But she does have
the US of A.
Yeah, so she's been taken. You shouldn't have been here.
Yeah, like Isla Fisher. Boink. You are one of us now.
Because she became too coiffed.
Yeah.
As soon as she became too coiffed. It's weird.
It's confusing.
But okay, we're gonna keep brainstorming past Mel and Sue and come up with who they should have for next season.
I told you it was Chriselle.
Yeah. We'll come up with a whole dossier of
okay.
options.
Option 1, Mel and Sue. Option 2, Chriselle.
Daisy and Daisy.
Option 3, Daisy and Come on.
Easy.
I'm ready. Okay, maybe, you know what we should do?
We'll be married
because
next
it's like
year.
Rob Madge on, he said that he wanted to be on,
Who's Rob Madge?
My Son's a Queer.
Oh, yeah.
The Disney one.
Yeah.
The Disney one that did the Disney Garden thing. He wanted to be in Cabaret playing the MC, and now he is because he put it out there. I think we need to put it out there that we are hosting a queer dating show.
But then they're going to have to... Okay, a queer, not necessarily this one.
It would be great if it was this one.
But
Netflix
but
pays
they'll
big
have to
bucks.
let us rejig the selection
System,
process.
Yeah. Okay, anyone who works in TV...
We could do tarot with them. We have so many more interesting ways of reflecting on their journey.
I just want to do one.
Or what?
No, actually, you're right. Reflecting on the journey with tarot would be really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, guys, we're really clever and we're really good at talking.
They haven't even spoken about like their star signs. Like, come on, read.
Get it out of them.
Lesbian handbook. Lesbians for dummies.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
Except American lesbians are weird. I'm like, you guys are weird, but also love you all.
But I think that is a universal thing.
What, lesbians are weird?
No, star signs for lesbians.
Sorry.
What, lesbians are weird?
Yes, it is. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, that would liven up the awkward
Yeah, instead
dinner
of just being
scene.
like, so, what do you think?
How have you guys been? Like, we don't know you.
I knew it was going to be a long week.
And they're not making them do the fake cheering like they did with Danny Minogue. So there's like a weird silence, but then it's not filled with anything.
Oh, I
It's like,
don't...
hello.
Oh, hey. And it's not like RuPaul's work entering the workroom.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, hello. Ah! You know, you don't have that. She doesn't have that level of fame.
Yeah.
Whereas if we walked in, all the girls and the gays would go like this. And I'd say, stop. Clapping, please. Whooping, please. Woo!
Ah, you can dream.
In my fantasy world. But I would like it. I'd like to host a TV show.
You'd be
Will
very
you?
good.
I want to host it with you.
Cute. I might get a bit scared.
I'll look after you.
Thanks. You could blow some cocaine up my arsehole and that'll be okay.
Should me and Mel do it together?
Ooh.
I mean, Sue.
Either.
We don't have to take ayahuasca before, do we?
No.
Good. Goody.
Before we go,
Yeah.
We've got lots going on the Patreon.
Yeah, if you missed us last week, we did a big old 45-minute episode last week on the Patreon talking about loads of stuff.
Almost had an argument, but we brought ourselves off the brink. So
It's probably why we had to take a week off.
yeah. We talked about sirens.
Yeah, we did a lot of talking about sirens. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I was getting confused about the Patreon that we recorded this week.
Oh yeah.
Last week we recorded a Patreon. Guys, I don't know, just go sign up. This week we recorded an extra Patreon.
Yeah.
And that one I can remember more clearly in my mind, which was about the end of Sirens. We talked about
Dallas
Cowboys cheerleaders,
whatever it
they're
is.
called. The Titan submersible disaster.
Yes, documentary.
Documentary. You had to keep saying that.
Yeah, not just the
Documentary. I'm like,
disaster.
let's just talk about the disaster. My reading of Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So if you want to hear any of that,
I feel like there was one other show. Oh, we started watching
Oh,
what
yeah.
it feels like for a girl.
Yes. Talk about so much telly on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear us chat about more stuff we're watching and reading, then sign up. Sign up on your browser if you're going to, because otherwise they take a cut from you. Or from us.
I think it's like
from someone.
iOS or something. If you sign up on an iPhone, I think Apple takes a certain percentage off of your pay that doesn't go to us, or doesn't, something like that. So
it's bad.
Give the money to us and sign up on a website.
And you can watch this full video on YouTube if you're not already. The link will be in the show notes.
Yep, and you can see Spinach being really cute. He was quite needy at the beginning of this
So
episode. He was
needy
really,
today.
on us, which is pretty cute. So if you want to go back and look at that, and you can follow us on TikTok and Instagram at doing the MAFS.
We will be back after another couple of episodes.
Yeah, so do your homework.
We're going to be covering the whole series.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Of course.
It's worth it. It's fun. I think 6 or 7 episodes have dropped already, and then the second half are going to come a little bit later. So
yeah, we're just going to try and do a few episodes each week. So
yes, we can be properly in depth.
Yeah, you don't need to completely binge, but you can if you want.
Exactly.
All right. Love you.
Bye.